Now we'll work on Warrior Two. All right, Poong, go ahead, put your hands down on the front of the mat. And step 1 foot really far back, 1 foot forward. Yes, good. Now, from here, come up to that crescent pose that we just worked on. So lift the arms up. This is your quiz. Push this heel forward a little. There you go. And now we're going to open to Warrior Two. So now the back heel comes down and your whole body is going to face the sideways. Yes. Arms to the side. Good. So now in this pose, we want both hip bones the same height from the floor. There you go. Bend the knee a little deeper. These toes can face more sideways because in this pose, your whole body is pretty much facing sideways except for the front knee, and your hips are a little tighter, so you may not face all the way sideways. In fact, move your right foot more to the midline. So in Warrior One, we talked about being heel to heel or wider. Now we're doing a narrower stance, so it's heel to arch. So bring this heel in so it lines up with the arch of your back foot. Does that make it feel more comfortable? Yeah. Good. Okay. Yes. Good remembering in the hip. And actually for you, we're going to do more like heel to toes. So let's make it a little tighter still. So there you go. That makes your hips a little more open. Good. Okay, so the hips are mostly facing sideways, unless you can do a completely flat frog pose. That's this one here. There's no way that the hips are going to be completely flush to the side. So I would never tell students that Warrior Two is a pose where you want to square your hips to the side. Instead, we're thinking of the outer hip of the front leg drawing back and dropping down as the low belly lifts away from it. We're thinking of the top hip pulling back as the back heel hugs forward. So your feet are pulling toward each other. And actually, your stance could be a little longer. Take your back foot further back still. Good. Bend the knee more. There you go. Whoo! Getting strong. The waist is lifted. That was really nice. So one thing that you have a unique amount of control over, you can straighten the leg, and I'm just going to show. So in Warrior Two, often students will kind of sink in their waist. What Poong does really well is she's able to lengthen her rib cage off of her waist while keeping the shoulders relaxed. So we want to feel that we're not sinking in the pose, but rather we're using the diaphragm to elongate the torso out so the rib cage lifts off of the hips. Let's do it again. Let's do the other side. So face this way, or yeah, you can face back to the camera. Good. Like this? Good, yes, like that. So she remembered, for her, we're doing almost a heel to toe alignment because poses like single pigeon are very difficult for her. Her external rotation is a little tighter. So we moved the foot a little bit closer to the toe side of the back foot. We'll bend the knee, lift the low belly, but we're not sticking the butt out backwards. We're drawing this hip this way. And then you lift up here, and now you take the top of your back hip back. Yeah, so it's like two opposites are happening. This hip is drawing back and the leg is moving into external rotation. That's the inner thigh is rolling to the outer thigh and down, while the back leg is, the front hip is pressing back, and then both heels are drawing toward each other. You'll look over your fingertips on the front hand, so palms down. See if you can relax these muscles. Yes, good. Put your hands by your sides for a second. Relax both of them down. Okay. Oh, you feel that? Yeah. Okay. Try to keep these muscles this relaxed. Good. Excellent. And then we have two options for the shoulder blades. For classes where we're doing a lot of pressing, like plank, crow pose, handstand, where we're rounding the back, you may want to counter that action by drawing the shoulder blades together. Yes. But if you want to practice creating more spaciousness on the back body, you want to separate them apart. Exactly. And that can happen just by moving the arms forward a millimeter as you think of those shoulder blades protracting or spreading out. Good. Keep the front ribs engaged. And then you can take a little break for a second. I'm going to describe one more thing. You're tired, so I'm going to describe it over here. Oops, sorry. So I'm going to show you this and see if you can feel what I'm doing and do it yourself. So here you are in your warrior two. The heels are drawing in. The inner thigh extends forward. The inner thigh also rolls back. The top of the back hip extends back. Both heels hug in. The sides of the waist are lifting, and there's a little twisting. Do you see what's happening in my core here? Yeah. Where and that also turns on those sexy oblique muscles too. So we want to feel that contraction. So there's a tiny twist in the waist, so you're really facing sideways, even though the hips, again, unless you can do frog pose completely flat, it's really not likely you'll get the hips flush to the side in warrior two. But you can practice doing that a little bit more, getting the body facing sideways with those obliques. All right, let's try it. Should I try the front? Yeah, whichever side you want. Yeah, we want to face the camera. All right, I'm going to watch you. Yes, palms down. Look over the middle finger on the front hand. And then think of this muscle pushing in and back. There you go. Keep the chest lifting up, though. Okay. Very nice. And that's your warrior two. Next, we're going to reverse the warrior. So everything stays exactly the same from here down. Turn this hand up. Relax this hand on the thigh and reach back. Yeah, and this hand isn't too heavy. It's just light. And the palm is facing the floor. So like warrior one, similar arm. And the arm is in line with the body. Now see how your waist is like a V shape here? Yeah. See if you can make it more rainbow shape. So shorten these muscles. Yeah. Do you feel how that's more strengthening for you? Yeah. So for tighter folks, I may not give that direction, but because she's flexible in this way, and notice how there were moments where I said she has less flexibility and more flexibility. We're complex beings. She's been on this planet for almost 30 years now. Some areas got tight, some areas stayed loose, okay? And we're gonna be mindful of those as we develop the practice. So see if you can make this side of your waist a little longer. Lengthen. Yeah, let's straighten the leg and just practice that with the leg straight. Okay, just take a little break. Let's see if we can work on your side bend. So reach the arm up. Yeah, you can do that side too. We'll do the same side. And then instead of dropping over, lift up. That's better, good. So let's be up straight. And then from here, lengthen this side of your waist and then lean. But try not to move your hips. The hips stay where they are and lean. Good. And then collapse. Yeah, so you feel the difference? Yeah. It's a lot more core, right? And then let's do the other side. Arm up, and then we side bend. More. Turn your palm to face the floor. And more, and more. Yes! I see your muscles working there. Good work. And then collapse. And then lift up. Okay, so let's try doing that from warrior two to the reverse warrior. Okay, you got this, girl. Show us how it's done, Poong. Third yoga lesson ever. Yes. And one of the cool things about developing this kind of subtle body, so both hips, same height, this kind of subtle body awareness is at first where maybe we're able to feel these little nuances in the muscular level. But the more we start to pay attention, maybe we can start to feel on the further subtle body level, how different things are digesting in our organs, how our breath is floating through our body. So many things start to come alive within the intelligence of the body the more time we spend thinking about it. And we can start again with these more superficial alignment notes. Lift the belly. Sorry, I left you here. Come back up. Actually, let's take it a little further. Good. Lift up through here. There you go. And come all the way up. Warrior two. Back to warrior two. Okay, straighten the leg. We'll do one more pose, okay? I think you're going to like this one after that. So you're in warrior two. And now we're going to do Trikonasana, triangle pose. So for this one, you straighten the leg, Heel toe your back foot in, so the stance gets a little shorter. And now, where this one, the hips stayed the same and you just moved from the waist, making a rainbow spine, this one you're gonna try and move your hips and not have a rainbow spine, but have a straight spine. So in this one, this hip moves back and it drops down as the spine reaches forward. Get it, girl. So do warrior two first. Let's just see the transition. Warrior two, good. And now straighten the front leg, pause, straighten, and now shorten your stance a little bit. Back heel in, back toes in, up. So in this one, the back toes are angled forward more. There you go. Closer to, like somewhere in between warrior one and warrior two. And now, cut this hip back, not this hip forward, just this one back. Lengthen your waist forward to this hand. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Get long, get long, get long, get long, get long, get long, get long. And then hand down, hand up. Lean back. What's making you moan?
Oh my God, everywhere.
What do you feel?
Feel tight.
Feel tight?
Here.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, it's a good thing you're doing yoga. You let me know if you think it's too much, but I think you're doing all right, right? Yeah, okay. And the adjustments I'm giving her right now, lift yourself up, and then let's have your back to camera. So take your right foot forward here and the left leg back, and let's do the same thing and come more to this side of the mat just so I can fit. And then go ahead, come into your triangle pose. What do you remember?
This.
Yeah, good. Okay, take your hand to the outer shin. So I typically teach this pose with the hand on the outer side of the leg. That helps encourage, you can keep the hand there, the shoulders to lean back. Yeah, so we want to keep the chest open and spacious. When the hand is on the inner side of the leg, it will more likely tend, especially tighter students, to forward folds. So we're leaning the throat back even too. You can look up or down, whichever you like. Pull this hip back a little bit more. Lengthen the waist forward. That's it, keep going. Lean your shoulders back. Shoulders this way, into my hand. This way, lean back, lean back, lean back. Breathe through it. I'm taking my hip to her hip and I'm drawing it back. Just gonna ask you to hold on a little longer. Use your breath to soothe your system. 3, 2, lengthen a little more. Okay, come on up. My Indian coworker has taught me that you don't have to actually count in rhythm. You can just make them wait for forever between 3, talk for a minute, 2, and then 1. All right, but good job. How you feeling?
Good.
Yeah. So those stretches, the intense stretches, the idea is to, of course there might be some drama playing out in your mind because it's feeling a lot more. You don't work out, right? No. So you're feeling things you've never felt before, and that can be a little overwhelming. And as you continue to practice, you just want to continue to learn what good pain and bad pain is. And when you're not sure and I'm not there to guide you, just err on the side of more careful. Okay? You get it.